I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city and Also Asked is the only tool to access live People Also Ask data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
Thank you so much. I'm honoured to be kicking off what's going to be an amazing couple of days of SEO talks. As Jack said, my name's Abi. I'm a PR director at Brighton-based agency PropellerNet. And today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can use PR tactics to build links to commercial pages. So I've been building links using PR tactics as a digital PR since 2018. And in those 7 years of my career, I've learnt that not all links are created equal. There are lots of different links that exist. We have your follow, your no follow, your affiliate links. And we also have different links which are pointed to different sections of a website. So links pointing to home pages, links pointing to blog and campaign pages. And crucially for the talk today, links pointing to commercial pages. And these links all vary in terms of how difficult they are to build, but also in terms of how much SEO impact they can drive for your business. And I actually believe that links to commercial pages are not only the hardest links to build, but they're also potentially some of the most impactful. So this is what we're going to talk about today. And this is a sentiment that's kind of echoed throughout the SEO and digital PR industry. So a report here from ERA, the State of Link Building Report, surveys almost 300 SEOs working in agency, in-house, freelance every year. And they found that 58% of SEOs believe that building links to a target page is the most important strategy to get that page to rank. Great. So building those links to commercial pages is really important. However, building links to commercial pages is hard. And according to an independent survey that I myself conducted, 78% of SEOs and digital PRs noted that this type of link building to commercial pages is really difficult and markedly more difficult than building links to campaign pages or home pages, for example. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, some of the challenges that we face when we engage in this type of link building, but also how you can channel those PR tactics to do so. So before we get into the juicy stuff, I just wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same page in terms of what is a commercial page. What are we talking about when we say a commercial page? Well, this lovely diagram kind of encapsulates it quite perfectly. So this is an example of how a standard e-commerce website would be structured. At the top here, we have the home page, filters down into category pages, then into subcategory pages, and then into various products that customers can then click into and then hopefully, obviously, purchase this product. To bring this to life, I've chosen a very timely example of Lint. It's Easter next week. I have a week off after this talk. So the first thing I'll be doing tomorrow morning is going to Sainsbury's and buying some Easter eggs. So with the Lint webpage, we have the homepage that you would land on here. Across the top, we have your category pages. If you click into these category pages, you have subcategories of the different chocolate types, the different brands, maybe some dietary needs. And then if you were to click into these subcategory pages, you would then see all of the lovely Lint chocolate products. So quite simply, a commercial page is a website page, whether a category, subcategory, product page, which is designed to drive conversions or sales by targeting those users who are looking to buy or learn more about a product or service. So put simply, these commercial pages are the money pages. And that's why it's so important that we need to be prioritizing this type of link building so that we can make money, which is what we all want to do, right? So, as mentioned, this type of link building is important, but it is hard. So what are the challenges that we face when building links to commercial pages? Well, firstly, as mentioned, these commercial pages are money pages. They are quite literally designed to convert and not inform or entertain. And that's fine because a user will have gone through a whole marketing funnel of activity to get to this point, to get to a place where they're ready to be converted. So that is fine in theory. However, it means that these pages are often quite heavy with CTAs, pricing, sales language, all of which is great at converting customers, but doesn't actually feel that natural for journalists to link to. And what this means is that many news outlets are actually explicitly avoiding linking to product pages so that they can maintain their editorial integrity and also avoid coming across as too advertorial. But these challenges exist. It doesn't mean that this type of link building is impossible. So where do we start when we start building links to commercial pages? Well, firstly, you want to make your page as linkable as possible. I would say this is the case for any type of link building activity that you engage with, but particularly with these commercial pages where we've already established they're not actually that naturally linkable. So you want to make sure that the pages are sort of as high performing as possible. If a journalist is sending a user to a page that feels or looks dodgy, it's slow to load, it might not work on mobile, then it's just going to come off really bad on the journalist and the publication. So they're going to be really wary of linking to your page if it's not working correctly. Have another think as well about the type of content that is on your commercial page and try and include as much editorial friendly content as possible. This could be things such as quotes, FAQs, any relevant data, anything that encourages the journalist to reference your commercial page as a source rather than just a credit is going to work in your favor when it comes to actually getting those commercial page links. The same goes for interesting content around the product itself. Again, any sort of product information, reviews, good quality imagery is all going to stand in your favor to get that link. Next, I would do some research, analyze where competitors are getting those commercial pages from, those commercial page links from, sorry. You can do this using a number of different tools. Ahrefs is my favorite, not sponsored, but is my favorite. And you can do this using their competitor analysis tool, quite simply putting in the commercial page that you want to build links to into this tool against the commercial pages of your competitors. Now, what this is going to do is bring up a load of different publications who are already naturally linking to commercial pages. So chances are they're probably going to give you a link as well if your content is good. But this also gives you a really nice sort of hit list that you can use to close the gap on competitors in terms of what links they are building versus what you have in your own backlink profile. And then once you've done this initial sort of auditing, looking at the commercial page, is it linkable? Where are we looking to get the links from? You can then start getting into the ideation phase of identifying relevant topics which might work in terms of your link building activity. So as an example here, we have some work that we did with our client Pure Gym. We were looking to build links to the location pages, specifically Norwich and London. We came up with this idea that we were going to utilize the expertise of the PTs working at Pure Gym London and Pure Gym Norwich and pitch out this workout so that we could gain links directly back to those location pages. So I'd really recommend getting stuck into that sort of auditing research phase before you then get to the ideas. And this is obviously a relevant idea of where this has worked well. There are lots of different PR tactics you can use. So for this section, I want everyone to channel their inner Samantha Jones, their inner fun party LA PR girl. And we're going to explore some of the tactics that you can use to build these links to commercial pages. Now, the key thing that I would like anyone walking away from this talk today to remember is that adding value for audiences and journalists is really going to increase your chance of getting a link tenfold. And this is true of any link building activity, but particularly so for commercial page link building. Now, the digital PRs in the room will remember not so long ago, a couple of weeks ago, Reach PLC, one of the UK's major publishers, came out and said that they would be clamping down on the types of links they were giving out. In reality, that actually wasn't as big a deal as we all thought it was going to be. It was more to do with linking to harmful websites and stuff like that. But actually, in response to this sort of whole debacle, when speaking to PR Week, Reach literally came out and said our editorial policy prioritizes linking when it adds that clear value to readers. So if you're able to add value to either the journalists writing the features or the readers reading the features, then you're really, really going to increase your chances of being able to get that link. So how can we add value? Well, there's lots of different ways. The main being utilizing expert commentary. And this is a really nice, easy way to provide those natural linking opportunities. Another example here is where we worked with our client Paul Noir. They sell lingerie, pajamas, lovely pajamas. It's for the girly pops. And so we came up with this idea to build links to the lingerie category page. This idea was all around the 5 signs women shouldn't ignore when it comes to their bras. And we worked with fashion icon Gok Wan to sort of pull this story together. Now, because we were working with an expert that journalists wouldn't have been able to access otherwise, and we were sort of putting out content that, again, journalists might not have been able to pull together themselves, we automatically got that link to the lingerie category page because we were adding value, and so they added the link for credit. Similar example, work we do with one of our clients, Spa Seekers. They offer spa deals, spa breaks for people. A lot of our stories are revolving around how you can bring a slice of spa life to your home. And so this is what we did last autumn when we realized that pumpkin is actually a really great ingredient that you can use on your skin. So why not put together a sort of piece around the DIY pumpkin face mask that you can do? Again, because we were giving that sort of how-to, the DIY piece, we had expert commentary on the sort of science behind the benefits of pumpkin on your skin. We were able to build links directly back to the Spa Days category page. So it's really quite simple. If you're adding value to a journalist's life, then you're way, way more likely to gain those editorial links. And this is particularly important with the rise of AIOs. And this is a whole different talk, right, in terms of how digital PR is impacting AI search and how businesses are going to be ranking in AI search moving forward. I think actually there's lots of talks at brightonSEO about this, so definitely check those out over the next couple of days. But I wanted to mention it because what we do know about AIOs and how businesses are sort of ranking in these results is that the more a brand is associated with a set of specific expertise, the more likely it's going to show up in search-generated results. So this type of expert-led PR tactic is not only going to be really beneficial for your commercial page link building, but it's also going to work really well in the future of search and the future of rankings as well. Another tactic I wanted to explore was product PR and gift guides. This is probably one of the most natural ways you can gain links to products or categories because you're quite literally talking about that product in the feature. You can do this in various ways, pitching to consumer, shopping editors, writers within the niche that you're operating in. Again, as an example of our work with Spa Seekers, we pitched out a story around the spas which had the best afternoon teas and pitched it out around Afternoon Tea Week to food and drink writers and editors. Again, because they're quite literally talking about the best spas that exist on Spa Seekers' site with a timely hook, we were able to gain those links back to the spa pages themselves, but also to the afternoon tea category page, which is a key sort of money page for the client. So here you want to be literally asking for the links directly back to the category pages in addition to any product pages, but just be aware of what affiliate schemes are in place for your client because affiliate reporters are often working quite closely with consumer and shopping editors. So you want to make sure you're aware of what's in place because it could be that the links you're then building are not actually of the SEO value that you intended. So definitely do your due diligence when it comes to researching that. The last quick PR tactic that I wanted to run through today is to not underestimate how many journalists are copy and pasting your press releases. Journalists more than ever are so time poor, particularly with the sort of last couple of years of redundancies. They're having to push out, hundreds of stories a day, a week, and they're really time poor. So providing you've given them a great press release with all the information that they could need, why wouldn't they copy and paste this lovely press release into their feature? So I would really recommend placing those relevant category product links into your press release on relevant anchor keywords because you never know when a journalist is going to place it in a feature. An example here is a campaign we launched recently for our client Scrap Car Comparison. We launched the B plates, so inspired by L plates, P plates that people put on their car when they're learning to drive. The B plates were designed to signal to other drivers that you are a bad parker. So this was a really fun campaign. We had a campaign page to accompany it. We were driving sort of customers, audiences back to the campaign page so that they could sign up to get their own B plates or give it to their husband or something, slag them off. So that was great. We were building links to that campaign page. But we also, within the press release, on the brand mention of Scrap Car Comparison, had a link to the Scrap page, again, the key money page for this brand. And lo and behold, lots of the coverage we gained, including that on the likes of Joe, included a link back to the category page. So we've gone through the PR tactics you can use to build these sort of links. There are a few considerations to keep in mind when you're doing this type of activity. So firstly, as mentioned, check which affiliate schemes are in place for your client. As you can see from this diagram, there are lots of them, and they all work in slightly different ways with slightly different publications. So it's really worth doing your research and finding out where these exist, because as mentioned, this is going to affect the type of links that you're getting. If you're building affiliate links, they are great in some ways, they are not as great in SEO ways. So it's worth doing your research there. You want to be maximizing your internal linking strategies so that you're really ensuring that those target pages are benefiting from the other digital PR tactics that you're engaging in. So for example, if you have a campaign page that's a report about trending spa treatments, you might want to pop in some relevant category links on relevant keywords such as spa experiences, spa treatments. And these are going to be the type of keywords that you're already naturally using in that type of content. So it just makes sense to be maximizing on that activity. And then finally, I am a realist. I would say manage expectations. And with building links to commercial pages, it's all about quality over quantity. As mentioned, it's not realistic to think that you're going to build 10 to 20 links from this type of activity versus what you might do with a big, flashy, creative PR campaign. But actually, the impact of the links built from this type of activity is really amazing. So a very quick example is that we were working on building links to location pages for one of our clients. We built one link to their Doncaster location page on the highly relevant Doncaster Free Press. And this was the visibility spike that we saw just a couple of days later. So, a very small example, but this link building can be really impactful and it can drive real results for your business. So a reminder of what we talked about today, some key takeaways. Preparation is key before this type of link building begins. You want to be looking at those commercial pages, seeing if they're naturally linkable, seeing if a journalist would look at that page and want to include it in their feature. Building links to commercial pages is hard, but guys, we can do hard things. We can do it. There are a range of PR tactics available that we can utilize in order to build links to commercial pages. And then just a few watch outs, consider your affiliate schemes in place, utilize those internal linking strategies and manage those expectations. It's all about quality over quantity. And that has been me. Thank you so much.
Demand sphere. Limitless visual insights from the SERPs. Unlimited dashboards and users. Easy to use and easy to scale your growth to new levels.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.